to give all glory, honor, and praise to the Most High God, whose name is YAHAWAH. I do so by Hashem YAHWEH, His name is only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly called Jesus the Christ. All right. May the Heavenly Father, love and mercy truly endure forever for Israel and Israel only, as it said in the Holy Scriptures. All right, you got your brother Yerumia back again, do another Feed the Flock. Right, and today I'm going to be reacting to the Superman movie. I believe it was last week. Me and some of the Akim, we slid to Baltimore, right? Show brotherly love, tap in with our brothers over there, right? CTE, right? Brothers over there, bringing the word out. You know what I mean? And while over there in Baltimore, we seen Superman movie. So what I'm gonna be doing is reacting to the Superman movie, and then reacting to this podcaster or whatever this chick is. She react to movies too, but she had said some racial comments about Mr. Terrific. So yeah, let's just get right into it, right? All right, so I'll just start with the positives though about this movie for bring up some of the negatives, and I don't really have too much negatives about it. Some negative things that people say about it, and some of probably my own, my own personal thoughts for things I didn't per se really like of this movie. Now, the brightness of this movie, it didn't. Like, it wasn't a downer, or really wasn't a plus for me, because like the Snyder movies, like DC typically had a darker edge to it, right? The darker edge background and darker edge characters. It didn't that much bother me, right? It's a different look than Marvel characters, right? Which, especially over the last couple years, they may be real cartoonish and real comedian, like especially looking at Thor, right? So yeah, so, I mean, like I ain't mind the difference in DC, but them, they wanting to do the color thing, or not say the color thing, but make everything real bright and everything, okay, I mean, fine and dandy for them, I mean, a lot of the pics and stuff was pretty clean in there. This particular scene right here, you have Lex Luthor coming up, and let me say this too. Lex Luthor, the person playing him, I thought he did an alright job, right? I ain't got nothing really negative to say as far as character based on Lex Luthor and how he is. I thought he did a pretty alright job. But this scene right here where he took the glasses off, and I believe you see laser beams and sharp objects just flying right by his face. Obviously it's CGI, like we know that, right? But for him to not blink or anything like this, and in this world where it's supposed to be real, it's just flying right by his face. If it was Superman, Batman, some of these characters like that, can't really think of. Maybe Deathstroke, the name of a villain. I can probably see them not flinching or whatnot, having that tough guy spirit. I'm not really saying like Lex Luthor was known as a coward or whatnot like that, but he's just always known for his intellect, right, and his brains, right. His brains is not going to stop razor sharp objects from flying towards him, right, and and hitting him. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I just really ain't too much like so much like that. Yeah, the dog, yeah, the dog was pretty cool. The name kind of slips my mind right now. The Green Lantern, guy, whatever his other name is, guy something, forget his last name. Yeah, it was pretty accurate. Had this bold cut, on him. Hawk Girl was alright. I didn't really know what they did with her wings, right, when she weren't really flying. I didn't really see it tucked. It almost looked like they just were detachable wings. So, but it kind of let that go. Yeah, he kind of had that, jerk type character. Pause. I mean, the Green Lantern guy. So yeah, I mean, it's a pretty solid movie. Had action. Um, I don't know if I said it already, but this Superman, it looked like he was holding back. Um, it looked like he was holding back relatively, but it looked like maybe in the future ones he probably won't hold as much back. I mean, guess we'll see. Yeah, like, I thought the dog was a nice little comedy relief or whatnot they have for him. Um, talk about some of the negative things in this movie. This is one that I seen some people. I tapped in maybe 2 or 3 reviews. I seen that they have. It's the fact that they're jumping right into a story where they say it's 30 years since the public already knows, Superman and that he been saving. So hold up real quick now. So if it's been 30 years that the public knows Superman, knows that he been saving people, right, heroically, now all of a sudden they see the message translated, on his fortress, right, or whatnot like that. They see the message translated on his fortress. Now all of a sudden, like, the public for the most part is against him, throwing cans and stuff at him, right, for 30 years, right? This has been what for most of these people's lives. I mean, like, some of them is kids right there. Like, they don't even know of a negative Superman. So just because you heard a snippet of his parents or whatnot saying what he was supposed or sent for him to do and so forth like that, and I never really seen that in the comics, but there's been so many renditions and rewritten comics that probably is there, but like, I just didn't get that, right? For 30 years, he's been going around saving everybody, and he's been known for saving everybody. So one message, not that even he said, but that his parents told him to do when sending him off as a baby, right? Now everybody should turn against him. For one, there's nothing you can really do to stop him, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, let alone, yeah, I mean, like, these 30 years, you just completely draw a blank, right? And sometimes these writers I don't fully think that they analyze everything because they think everybody worry about, the explosions and, and stuff like that, and big names and stuff like that. Another thing that people had was the issue of, him already dealing with Lois, him already having the power, his powers and everything. Like, people like to be on a journey, right? People like to, see the journey of from where somebody was and then to where they would be, not just automatically start within the story. But due to the fact that this Superman story been told so many times, is, to me, them already doing a 30 years time skip, I don't really think it hurts it that much. He was in they just recycle these people from Marvel and DC. He was in Marvel, one of the Captain America movies, trying to bring Captain America. Now he's bringing in Superman. Like, I found that kind of funny. Right. Yeah, like I said, pretty much a solid movie. You know, his clone version of him, Ultraman, was pretty solid. He kept him not talking. Yeah, the 3 other people of the Justice League, they didn't really have a backstory behind them, or not say a backstory, or nothing really that I seen. I only watched it once, talking about the Justice League or really that much of anything, right? But I think it's something else I want to home in on when he was in the cage, right? Right. So when he's in this cage, right? Him just walking through lasers like Superman. All right, like when he's in this cage right here, if I can get a view on him. Yeah, that was the thing too. These who are they? The Kents, right? The Kents, Jonathan and Martha Kent. Yeah, I mean, it's not so much about how they look, right? Who really cares about that? They're Edomites, right? It was nothing really about their character that kind of even stood out. Like I remember Man of Steel, at least Superman mom like kind of stood out. Like his parents didn't stand out at all. Like I don't know, like maybe it was the dialogue or you know, I mean maybe they was because they looked so super old. I don't know. I mean, but it was nothing really about them that stood out. To be honest, anything about the Kents. Right. Justice League, that was a terrific. You got the T Spears. That was a nice fight scene. Right there you go, right there. The guy right here, Molecular Man, right? Let me tap in and go somewhere real quick because Molecular Man, he hold up real quick. Let me see something. They may be starting um or setting up for a new type of movie like these because the guy Mr. Terrific was a very popular character in this movie, and there's a comic book called The Terrifics, right? There's basically a DC version or a spin on the Fantastic Four. So you have Mr. Terrific, Molecular Man, who you've seen in the movie, Plastic Man, and I believe she is Fannin Phantom Girl. I believe Phantom Girl. I know the least amount of information on her, but yeah, there's a comic book called The Terrifics, so they may be trying to set up with this movie, just to you know put that out there, because you see, Molecular Man was right in it. Right, the fight scenes, was pretty solid. Yeah. So I mean that was kind of like their great is that they didn't feel it was character development in it. They felt like why should I really care a lot about the story because it didn't have a build up to the story. But the story of Superman and Lois Lane has been told over and over again. The Superman story itself has been told over and over again. It's not that much of a yeah, I mean,
Very cool. Wait till he has
have
his
to
orb.
really try to set up for pretty much almost everybody knows a Superman story, right? Yeah. Now let's get into this dirty check real quick.
Very cool. Wait till he has his orbs flying around him. Mr. Terrific has like usually a couple orbs flying around him that are like his computer programs. It's very cool. He's like a Tony Stark who doesn't fly. He's supposed to be the smartest guy in the room and he's got a lot of tech. But he's super smart. He's a little bit like Sage, Sister Sage over on The Boys. But yeah, his face looks fantastic. I do think the hair is an interesting choice. The hair, usually overall, James Gunn seems to be going for a timeless feel. I mean, it's not current, which I think is maybe an issue for him. Mr. Terrific does fly. It's been a while since I read a Mr. Terrific comic. I haven't seen him fly in any of the recent comics, but yeah, I guess he can fly. Yeah, I don't care what he does. He looks fantastic. I'm sure whatever he does, he's going to look amazing. All right, so as for the hair, it's a little retro.
Right, she already spoke on it, but she was like, "Man, I'm not finna leave it alone. Let's get back on this hair."
I agree with Sam. It's a little 70s, a little 60s. It's a little black power, a little political.
Blue black power, right? She basically saying that his hair, right, is a little old, it's a little retro, it's a little 70s, a little black power, so forth like that. That's what she's saying. Fight the powers that be, right? Because he have his natural hair, right? And I'm not sure if the person who's playing Mr. Terrific is a Hamite or he's a Jake. I'm not sure. I believe he played in a X-Men character before, right? I think he's a Hamite. I didn't really do research on it, but I know that. The Mr. Terrific that was created, right? That's in the comic books. He's an African American, right? That's for sure, right? That he's a Judite.
In my opinion, I don't know if I would have injected that into the character. I think I would.
Right. She said, I don't know if I would have had injected the character in having an afro. That's what she said. I don't know if I would have. So she's alluding, right, that they injected this particular hairstyle, right, on this character as some type of political move.
Just focused on making the character.
Right, and this is what it is, right? This is what's hated, right? Right. What she was talking about, right? Images of her hair in the 70s, right? Black Panther, right? That's what she was saying. Yeah, it's a little retro, a little Black Panther, like as if it's doing it for a movement, right? And look at this sister hair, right? It's nice, it's beautiful, it's amazing, right? Who was that? The Black Prince? I don't know. No. Right. People in their hair, man. Right. It's a problem when we rock our natural hair, but but let us perm or straighten it out, right? That's fine and dandy, but as soon as we want to rock our own, have our own, and be proud of our own, like look at this sister, amazing, right? Right, amazing. She straightened it out. That thing probably be like at her butt or lower, like amazing. Right, now let's look at Mr. Terrific, right? The comic book character, Mr. Terrific. Oh, wow, right? He always had an afro. Like he always had an afro in the comics. So I don't think it was a political move that they were trying to do and put an afro on my guy, right? Yeah, I believe that this was always how the character actually looked. So I don't know what this dog slash right content creator is talking about, right? The images that I see of Mr. Terrific, he has a fro, so.
As for the hair, I would have gone with something very modern. I think that if anyone's going to dress.
That's the thing. She said I would have went for something more modern, right? She went him with a low top cut, right? A hustler, right? Probably a Caesar, right?
This character, they're probably going to change the hair. I think everything else looks perfect, and I think that no, Cole. What I'm talking about with the political aspect is like the styling brings to mind the civil rights era and that time period.
Right. So this is why from time to time I just let my hair grow and just be in a fro. I know some people be a little bit, kind of, and there's no law that says you needed to be in a fro, but I know some people, be a little bit standoffish on doing that. Some brothers be having gray growth, so they want to try to keep it as low as possible. Try to retain the younger look or so forth like that. It's all. I guess their opinion. Like I said, there's no law on having that you have to have a fro, but I just do it for just on the strength of letting our people know, like, listen, there's nothing wrong with embracing and just loving your hair. like how it naturally grows. Like, can I get it low? Can I keep it low? Yeah. But from time to time, I just let it grow out to a fro. Yeah, I mean, like everybody said they tough and and tough and bad. Like, right, let your hair rock out then. Do that.
A little bit of the Black Panther area. The Black Panthers. So that's what I'm talking about. So I feel like, I believe some of you showed me the Mr. Terrific from the CW, who went with like a braided look, which I think was very cool. I just would have done something a little bit more current.
Just keep in mind that Mr. Terrific version was a young version of him. This is like more obviously a man. Mr. Terrific, he's on the Justice League, so that was a young version of him. This same way as was a young version of Green Arrow and Flash and so forth like that. So I perceive that's why they had it braided, because it was a younger version of him, rather than obviously this supposed to play a mature version of Mr. Terrific, obviously.
That's what I would have done. I mean, some of you can disagree on how you think that the hair looks. That's totally your call. But some of you have agreed with me that it looks a little retro, so it's fine. But I just would have gone with like a current look, As I said, I don't think a lot of people would do this exact style. I think they would change it to what they would want it to look better. That's a good point, Jacob. The sideburns, I think, are a big part of what make it look that way,
Right, him having the sideburns.
Does have that kind of look. All right,
Yeah, that's enough of this dog. Yeah, let me just bring out this one Bible scripture and wrap this video up real quick. Right, this is the book of Psalms. Chapter 35 and verse 19 in the NLT. Don't let my treacherous enemies rejoice over my defeat, right? Because they can try to mock and ridicule and throw little piggish shots, right, at our hairstyle, because, right, we fell from our high estate. If we were ruling now and we were still in power, right, our brothers having froze, sisters having froze, would be, right, the trend. This was what they would want. This is why y'all go by, right? I already put multiple videos out there of how they try to touch our hair and everything like this. You can talk about it in a negative light, but why all y'all creeps try to go around and touch our hair, right? Don't let those who hate me without a cause gloat at my sorrow. They don't talk of peace. They plot against innocent people who mind their own business, right? And that's all, Well, again, I don't know if this dude playing Mr. Terrific is, a Jake or not, but this is all that's trying to be done. Just trying to mind your business, right? They shout, aha, aha. With our eyes, we saw him do it, right? They seen the Most High God take us out of power. Now it's easy to gloat at us. Now it's easy to mock us. Now it's easy to ridicule us. Now it's easy to throw these, like I said, these little pig oink jokes at us, right? Because we're not in power. If we was in a state of rulership, right, our natural hair and the way we rock our hair, right, would be loved by many, right? Just like how the so-called standard of beauty is Dusty Becky, right? But Dusty Becky wouldn't be a standard of beauty if we was in position of power. You see what I'm saying? Like, we would be the standard of beauty, right? And we wouldn't be ridiculed for how we look because we are in power, right? And who's in power, everybody wants to be like in every way, right? So, that's just my little review on the Superman movie. I think it was pretty solid, to be honest with you. It had its little picks, its little flaws here and there. Superman, probably the Man of Steel version may have been better, probably because we got more movies, more, more work from him than this one. But the direction of where this is going with the Justice League and everything, it looks like it can be bright. I mean, like, not literally, because it seems like that's the direction that they're going, rather than from the dark version. They want to go a little bit more brighter, and that's fine with them. I see this one sold pretty nice the first week, so I guess that's them doing their thing. But all praises to the Lord. With that, hopefully brothers and sisters was edified. Right, till next time, I say shalom.